Western St. Mary.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tevon Thomas. I'm Paralympic athlete represent Jamaica at the highest level, right?
What do you mean?
It's not really a question but a concern. Why is it when it is politics time, all these persons try to come out and rush the disabled people to go out and vote? Why is it they don't do the same thing to protect these people and give their support to them?
And your point is well taken. You know, this is not a vote gathering exercise. This is really part of preparing ourselves for government. You know, and we obviously would welcome the support at the polls, but we are really here to ensure that some of the burning issues that have come out today, that we are aware of them from the get-go, so that we can try and make a difference as quickly as possible to address some of these terrible situations that we're here.
20, and I got approval to do my surgery, which is not provided here. I got the visa, I got my ticket. I was told that Ministry of Health offers help. They send me to UWI Hospital for referrals. UWI Hospital refused to give me the referrals, and I had to be in a meeting with them today because I need to leave on Sunday. So I'd like to know who can address this so I can get the help to go and do my surgery. I have 2 children that I have to live for.
For high school level, I'm having a challenge that there is not inclusivity. Somebody mentioned it earlier. And I find that there is not a grade, in each grade level, there is not a special needs class. So it is the hardest thing to find a school, even if you can afford it, to send your special needs kids to in Jamaica. So that's something that I want to address. And another thing is a community for the Special Needs Society. Right now, there is a Special Olympics team for Jamaica who has to be hitching on to UTEC to use their pool. There needs to be a community established that can have physical therapy services and the facilities there for the Special Needs Society. 2 things that I wanted to add.
Thank you for that. We've taken note.
From 2007, we see Mr. Vaz come up here. We do a scene back on this road.
2007?
2007. That time I win him just win.
Who will be in a few weeks' time, that if we can look at having a statutory reduction in regards to health, just like the NHT, education and all of that, I believe that situation can address a multitude of
say you want him X people and give him X.
Yeah.
And now we're doing this about Mr. Vaz from that day till today on this road. This is Martinique.
health issues, right? And I love to see Mr. Golden to talk to him about a strategy that he can use in campaigning.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen. We used to drive through here, so I'm coming by Brook.
Of course.
So what is really this now? What has happened? Well, show the road. What is this? Sorry. Are there any final words from the panelists? One more. Okay, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Good evening. I just wanted to find out.
There is a question online also about voting, asking about whether or not persons with disabilities can be allowed to vote by mail if they can't go into the center. Online question. I'm just telling you.
I know the EOJ doesn't permit any voting except in person at this stage. I mean, it may be something that we can examine in the future, but you are eligible to vote once you can go in person, and you will get assistance once you get to the polling station. Your privacy will still be protected, but at this stage in our electoral process, we don't facilitate mail-in votes.
I must say that when you look at the
last concluding observations from the United Nations Committee, that was an issue that was flagged in terms of improvement in the voting systems to make it more accessible for persons with disabilities. So, you know, Jamaica has to move in that direction, and I'm certain that when we are elected as government, those are some of the reform issues that we will have to contend. I just in making my intervention to say that what I have seen and heard here this evening, Comrade Leader, has brought to light some gripping realities affecting persons with disabilities. And we have to make sure that in living here, that all these expressions are taken into consideration, because these are the lived realities of the people that matters in our Jamaica land we love. And so I can say to my brothers and sisters with disabilities, we have heard your voices, and we will be acting upon the suggestion and your cries. Thank you.
Just to get a little bit, sorry about that.
Go ahead.
Just quickly to find out from the person who's supposed to be coming abroad, did you get a turn down from the Ministry of Health, because there is such a fund to give assistance? So I'm not too sure if they have not responded to you, or it is not in the timely manner in which you would want to.
She said that the hospital refuses to give her the letter she needs to go to the Ministry of Health. So I think it has to be a one-on-one conversation.
Yeah.
Okay?
If we get her particulars,
so.
we can follow up with the UAE hospital people that we know, see what can be done.
Thank you for that.
I just want to say, generally speaking, a theme that comes across from what we've heard here this evening is that critical institutions that support persons with disabilities are inadequately funded and are therefore not able to deliver the service that they were set up to do. So we have to address that issue. Then there are programs which do not seem to put persons with disabilities in a priority position, such as PAD. Right. And I think that's wrong. I think that persons with disabilities who are among the most vulnerable in the society must be treated with priority by PAD. Not only in terms of who gets the benefit, but also how quickly they address those issues that are brought to them. So we're going to have to really look at the governance of PAD and how we address persons with disabilities within the PAD program, so that we can change, to a much better situation how it addresses this community and their needs.
Go ahead, any other question?
Yes, we have a question from an online viewer. Good evening. We need an attorney to assist with legal matters. When a child reaches 18 years old, why do I have to apply for legal guardianship? If I can't make decisions for him, who will? Can I just walk away from him? He cannot survive on his own. So there's an issue there.
So that presumably somebody is not a parent.
No, it doesn't.
Looking after the person.
No. Once your child reaches the age of 18, he or she is an adult. And if I as this parent, I am required to apply for legal guardianship, and it costs you money to go to the system. You also have to have your child assessed again. And that costs money because he's no longer eligible to be assessed as microcare. So he spends $90,000 to get the assessment done and some legal fees so that you can be the legal guardian. So if my son is sick, I can't determine what I do for him legally. I mean, I can do it, but legally we challenge it. So that's a reality.
Well, that requires a legislative intervention. I think that that's something that we can take on board, because logically, if the child is unable to look after themselves and they reach the age of adulthood, it shouldn't be a difficult or expensive or slow process for their caregivers to be given the authority to continue to play that role as a parent. So I think we need to look at how we address that in terms of a procedure which is much easier to deal with than the current.
I'm going to ask, I know that there are many more questions and statements, but you've been sitting, you've been a great audience or participants in this discussion and this conversation. As Comrade Weber said, please stay behind, ask your questions of the panelists. There are supporters who may be around to take any questions you may have, because part of the process, clearly it's about listening and then speaking for the needy.
That's right.
I am going to ask you, go ahead, Comrade.
All right, thanks very much. Yes, I agree, healthcare does need needs more funding. However, we are already wasting some of the resources that we already have. In terms of, we spend a lot of money on promotional activities instead of actually putting in things that we actually need. Give you a prime example. Bustamante Hospital doesn't have a CT scan machine. And instead of getting a CT scan machine for the hospital, the minister implemented a program where you get to interact with a dog, to pet the dog, and think that will help you to feel better. So it's about prioritizing the important things that will actually affect. Now, nothing is wrong with having a pet dog that will help with the, emotional well-being and everything. But you must prioritize. When you have shortage of resources, you have to prioritize what is important, because if you don't deal with the medical emergency that you have, petting the dog won't help you either. So you need to make sure you get the equipment in place. So yes, I agree in terms of funding. I'm happy that somebody raised the long wait time for surgeries. And I believe it's a national emergency, because when you have persons waiting so long, you have persons with cancers waiting long to get surgeries and so on, and end up dying, and there's nothing that comes out of that. So it is something that we have to look at. You can't have operating theaters being closed down because of lack of AC units and so on, basic things like that. So it's just about prioritizing what is important and keeping the system going, and training our people to ensure that we have specialists and the human resources to take on the challenges that we have.
Thank you, Comrade Jesse. Comrade Leader, I'm going to ask you to say a couple of things in closing. Comrade Daly, I think you just say thank you. And I'm going to charge the panelists and our future Prime Minister. The proverb says, open your mouth for the mute, for the rights of those who are destitute. Open your mouth. Judge righteously. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. And the psalmist says, defend the cause of the weak and fatherless. Maintain the rights of the poor and the oppressed. I charge you all as our next government to remember this evening. Remember that you speak on behalf of the voiceless, and you will judge on behalf of the invisible. And we must get it right, because time comes.
Can I give you a text to read it? Ecclesiastic 14:19.
Well, I just want to say, first of all, I want to big up the organizers of this event, and I want to thank them for the effort that it has taken to put this together, the panelists, but most of all of you who came here today to participate. And I think it has been a very useful discussion, because you have real experiences of how the system treats or mistreats you in your own lives. And it's really those stories that can help to guide policymakers to try to make the system fairer and more effective in delivering the services that are intended for you but are sometimes not delivered because of the way in which the system is working. And so for me, these kind of dialogues are vital in ensuring better quality governance for the country, because these are the ways in which persons who make decisions can be well informed and can know where the reality is and what the rubber is on the road. I want to thank everybody. There are a couple of persons who have burning needs, and if we get the information, we will try to see what we can do to have that addressed quickly for you. So, you know, Maureen and whoever can do that, please go ahead and make sure we have that information so we can try and follow up. And, you know, to everyone here, you know, we want to be a government that really addresses the issues of the disabled community, not as an afterthought, but as a central tenet of what we are about as a government. Because as has been said, if the most vulnerable in the society are being looked after, you're going to have a much better society, a much stronger society, and a society where people feel that they want to be part of it, and where the love is flowing and we can see progress. So one love, everybody. God bless you all.
Mr. Golden.
Wow, believe me, put your hands together for all the leader, come with Mark Golden. I want to say to you, I know that you did not just come for a show.
No.
You came to listen,
yes,
to learn,
yes,
and to understand,
right,
so that you will be able to make informed decisions in regards to persons with disabilities. We thank you. To the panelists, and I must say, Comrade Weber, I don't want to miss because sometimes you're talking. I want to say to you, hats off. I don't know if there's another person who, apart from Professor Floyd too, that love persons with disabilities and care about their needs more than Comrade Maureen Weber. Put your hands together for her. I am sorry that we laid hand on Comrade Allen in a very short period, and I realized she even became a woman of the cloth today. But we want to thank you. The caterers, everybody who make it possible, the persons who are sending out these messages for us, but most importantly, you, I am really touched by some of the concerns. I have learned so much from you today, and I must tell you, I am leaving here with more fire in my belly to make sure that I will be able to become your defender, because your voice must be my voice and my voice must be your voice. God bless you, safe journey home, and let us start this conversation. Oh, listen to me now. I don't know to tell you the ties, but I don't think I know look at the people. The General Secretary. The real General Secretary. Dr. Jason. What he has done? He said to Comrade Weber and myself, we cannot go into an election and leave anyone behind. The ones that are most vulnerable must be heard. And that is why we were able to have this forum today. Let us pick up our General Secretary for vision and insight. God bless you, love you. I see people from all my constituency. Some of them will move or gone into other people's place. but I still love them anyway. God bless you. Safe journey. Feel free to stay back, interact, and we'll let us share some ideas and telephone numbers if we can. God bless you.
Thank you all very much.
Hot Water Channel, straight to the max. Bring the thing to the people then. Original generous speed. Same way. Man, big up Hot Water Channel, enough ice cream. Yeah man, big up yourself.